Jake Corrales in that 240SX was 60.215. 60.215 puts 1.1 seconds on Matt Gagola and multiples on everyone else. Andrew Pilata in now, F-Stock, 67.602, a 67.602. Next in, Cindy Duncan from Louisville, Kentucky, running open class on Hankook tires. She's in with 73.689. 73.689. Next in, Dick Rasmussen in this 2012 GT. An automatic transmission. He's got a mod car. Pennsylvania in this 03 BMW M3. I trip over my words. So 68.052, a 68.052, great time, but a cone. Okay. Jason Huppenbacher in now in the 2005 M3 with a 69.786. 69.786 puts Jason in second. Doug Willie coming in now in this 2014 Camaro. Doug in the 68.137. A 68.137. That moves him into second spot in F Street. Now, if you're watching Ustream, you are riding along live. That's you're running with Alejandro Aviles in the 1991 Honda Civic Si. He's an STC class. He's on course. Got our live cameras on board. Our carts live internet video. So you get to ride along. Meanwhile, Caitlin Kennedy in now. CSP Ladies number 87. She's in with a 72.494 plus a count. 72.490. With a 65.796, a 65.796, with that great Karts live camera on board. Jeff Mabry in now, STC number 90. Jeff in with a 65.331. 65.331. He's from Findlay, Ohio. And that put Jeff into the lead in STC. Richard Grunwald, STC number 92 in now, the 66.044. 66.044. That puts him in second in STC, about 2.5 tenths behind Alejandro Aviles. So, Sweet Car is out, telling us we are halfway through first runs here. We are back and running after sweep. Got Rachel Baker, SMF Ladies, number 37 out there right now, driving a 1991 CRX. And then I see what's going on out there. That's Jeanette Jordan coming to a stop. I don't know if she had a cone down or something broken. She sat there for quite a while. Looks like, okay, there was a missing cone. Okay. All right. So Jeanette stopping for downed cone or missing cone. Or a corner worker. I don't know. There was something to do with cones and workers. So Jeanette Jordan, I assume, will get a rerun. Meanwhile, Rachel Baker in with a 63.779. 63.779, but one cone on that run. Here's Jeanette in. Oh, yeah, that's right. She stopped out there. So Jeanette, going to get a rerun, I assume. I've not heard that officially. But an 86.8 second run, I don't think it's something that she's looking for. Maybe switched off. Crystal Jonas, SMF Ladies, number 97 in now. With an 82.289. Not sure that is legit either. I don't know if she got red flagged or held up. It's possible. Here is Melissa Britton, H Street Ladies, number 1, and in the Toyota Corolla, she's in with a 76.348. 76.348 for Melissa. She's from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Driving this 06 Hoosier tire shod, I guess. Well, she's in street, so she shouldn't be on Hoosier. She's sponsored by Hoosier. Maybe she just means the whole state. Maybe the entire state of Indiana. The entire state of Indiana may be sponsoring that car, that's pretty awesome. Carol Rodriguez in now, B-Mod Ladies number 40. She's from Noblesville, Indiana, and she is on Hoosier tires. I'm fairly certain. She's got a DNF on that run, unfortunately. So let's see, we got Michael Bombard on course now. I guess he's bombarding the course. See if he bombards some cones. Wow, he bombarded some sideways there. SCX 119 Michael, he's in with a 65.681. 65.681. All right, got a couple of ladies on course now. We've got Teddy Alexandrova in that 2013 BRZ, the white car. And before her, here comes Princess Randall into the finish. Don't hit the timing lines. He hadn't quite gotten to the finish yet, and now he's through the finish. Showing some very impressive parallel parking skills there. Parallel parked right next to the timing box out there. Close enough that I'm pretty sure he scared it to death. So Princess in with a 72.203, but a cone and a spin and a backwards and a couple of different gears. I would have hated to see him hit those timing lights, though, because he would have gotten them filthy from the dirt off his car. They don't work once you grease them like that. Here is Teddy Alexandrova into the finish now. She is in with a 68.454. $68.454 for Teddy. 68.454, but a cone, unfortunately. $69.643 the time in for Terry Baker. 69. Sean Lambert from Fisherville, Kentucky, and now the 6. $72,402. A $72,402 for Tom DeYoung. Now, if you are watching the Ustream feed, you are live riding along in that B&W M3 with Chi-Ho. Chi-Ho? Chi-Ho. Ho, ho, ho. 66,233 the time in now for Kenneth Sang. 66,233. Kenneth from Ann Arbor, Michigan, driving a 2005 Mazda RX-8. It's a STX number 198. And we've got Martin Kriz in now, STU number 122. He's in. Wow, jumps all the way into the lead in STU with this run. 65,177. 65,177 for Martin Kriz from Troy, Virginia. And as always, if I am mispronouncing your name, feel free to come up here and hopefully without any physical violence, let me know the proper pronunciation. I will attempt my best to mispronounce it properly from there on. Chi-Ho in now. If you're watching the Ustream, you're riding along with him with that carts cam. He's in the 68, 631, a 68. Jackie Muschler from Houston, Texas in now, 70.843. 70.843, driving that big old Chevy Camaro on Yokohama tires. That puts Jackie into 4th in F Street. Now we're looking at C Street Repair Ladies. This is Velma Barine from Westfield, Indiana. She's in, driving this 96 Mazda Miata. She's in with a 70.569. 70.569. Quick enough to move her into the lead over her co-driver, Caitlin Kennedy. Next in, STC number 187, that's Todd Kunze, driving 1989 Civic Si. He's in with a 69,292. 69,292 from Columbus, Indiana. Now we've got Brian Johns, and now I guess that was Tara earlier. Here's Brian, and Brian's in with 61,138 for him. 61,138. Well, that shows that to be the second run. They don't even have Tara in. Here is Randall Wilcox, SSM number 196, driving that Eric Anderson Miata. 60.889 for him. 60.889. What does that do for Randall Wilcox? 60. That should put him into 2nd in SSM, just ahead of Brian Johns. Oh, but 3 cones on that run, Randall. Sorry, that will not help you at all. 3 pylons added to the time for Randall Wilcox. Here is Jeanette Jordan in on her second run, or excuse me, on her rerun, I should say. 64,384 for Jeanette. 64,384. That should move her to the lead in SMF Ladies. Crystal Jenna's in now from Hunlock Creek, Pennsylvania. She's in with a 67,783. 67,783. Sweep car is out as the rain begins to fall. Luckily, the sweep car has all-wheel drive traction, so it should be okay. hold your breath. I think we're going to be fine. Sweep car will be in a moment. We'll be back to the top of the order, moving on to second runs here. The Wilmington Champ Tour. Once again, this live video feed brought to you by Karts. The Karts Cam getting to ride along, getting some in-car video or on-car video for some of these runs. For those of you watching from home, it's Carl Rickart's company, Karts Live Internet Video Production Services. Go to livekarts.com. I want to thank some of our other sponsors: BF Goodrich Tires, GoPro Cameras, Hawk Performance, Pronto Timing Systems. Also like to thank Intercontinental Hotels. SCCA members can access an exclusive discount of 14.5% off the best available room rate with Intercontinental Hotels, including Holiday Inn, Crown Plaza, Staybridge, and Candlewood Suites. Just being reminded by Darren Nasimo that Pronto Timing System is his. So fantastic seeing some of these member-owned companies out here supporting the sport supporting them back. That's how this family works here, the SCCA Solo family, and that's what it is. It becomes a big family. And some of the greatest part about this sport. All right, Sherry McCoy in now. It's STX number 4. From Cincinnati, Ohio, Sherry in with a 70.956. 70.956. Mark Stevens, STX number 18 in now with a 68.866. 68.866. No help from Mark. He's going to stay in 10th spot after that run. Eric Simmons in now with 65.129. 65.129 slows down a little bit. Going to stay in the lead, though. That unfortunately had a cone on it as well. But Simmons leading, so that's okay, I guess. Got about a 1.6 second lead over second place. So that's all right. That's not bad. Cale Bushmeyer, STX number 22, in on his second run with a 73.811. 73.811, no faster there. Let's see, Perry Elwood, STX number 22. STX number 24 in now with a 66.493. 66.493, slightly slower for him as well. So maybe just enough moisture out there to be slowing people down. Nick Kelly, STX number 30, in now with a 67.217. 67.217. He moves up a bunch, but then again he had a DNF his first run, so I guess that wouldn't be so affected by the rain. I see a Coburn in next, driving on a 2013 BRZ, in with a 70.749. 70.749, correcting that DNF he had. Doug Glenn's in next, driving the Princess Mobile. Glenn's in with a 68.334. 68.334. Cleans it up from earlier. He was about 0.2 quicker on his first run, but dirty. You can always tell when that car's hit cones because it'll have little clean streaks up the side. Randall has to go back and diligently cover with new dirt after every event. Christo Cook in now, STX number 53, in with a 67.547. 67.547, but a cone on that run. So his first run had 2 cones, so that actually is an improvement for Christo. But Cristo doing what I did this morning, running the first 2 runs dirty, puts a lot of pressure on you to clean it up on that 3rd run. And hopefully his luck will hold out with this weather, because if not, he may be in a heap of trouble going in tomorrow. That's Tennessee expression, a heap of trouble. That means up you know which creek in bad doo-doo. Meanwhile, Bill Cook in now, STX number 68 with a 84.082. Not sure what happened there. That's way off the pace. Bill, that's an improvement from your first run too, since you had a DNF to start with. But I'm hoping that was something that will end up with a rerun for you, perhaps. I don't know. Caleb Zitter in now, STX number 69, in with a 73.725. 73.725. He also is a DNF his first run. So getting a run in the books there for Caleb. Next up will be Curtis Staples. This little 1988 M3 that I'm so enamored with. It's really strange. He has deleted the wing off the back. I don't think I've ever seen one of these E30 M3s without the rear wing, so interesting look. The car's working pretty well. E30s have kind of a very archaic rear suspension, makes them not the most competitive against some of the newer chassis, but Curtis doing well with this car. 71.171 for Curtis. 71.171. About a second improvement for Curtis. And now we've got Jeffrey Rooney in this RX-8, and with a 69.224. No help there. 69.224. Jeffrey currently 14th in STX. Raymond Zusa in now in this 2009 Mazda Speed 3. Raymond out of Louisville, Kentucky, sponsored by Kiss My Hatch Racing. He's dirty on this run too. 68.424. 68.424, but a cone. So a good bit slower there. He had a 66.3 earlier and a cone as well on that one. But so slowing down a little bit on that run. Here's Eric Kudel in now, STX number 92 in this Type R Integra. Eric moves all the way to second spot with this run. 65.734 for Eric. 65.734 moves him from 9th spot all the way up into second. About, well, he's still about 1.4 behind Simmons, but still moving into that second spot out of 25 cars. Not unimpressive at all. Here is Kyle Mertens from Fenton, Missouri in this 96 328 IS on Hankook tires. He's in with a 69.279. 69.279, about 2 seconds slower. So Kyle staying in 9th. Alan Shin, STX number 98, and now he's from Dearborn, Michigan. He's in with a 66.346, but a cone. 66.346 plus 1. He's sitting 3rd trophy spot in STX, still on the strength of his first run, which, depending on the moisture that falls from the skies, may be common for some of these guys. It starts getting wet. Times are going nowhere but slower. Here's Bruno Tabacci, and now STX number 99. 69.049 for him. 69.049. He cleans up from his earlier run, goes a little bit quicker also. So that moves him up 4 spots to 15th in STX. Now we're looking at STU. Here's Austin Yazel from Greensburg, Indiana. He's a 67.114 for him. 67.114. No help there. Currently second in STU. Here is Mike Zingle from Waynesville, Ohio, the 69.241. 69.241. He straightens out a DNF. He had his first run, so that's going to help him out. Puts him 6th in STU. It's 8-car class. Here is Scott Johns, SCU number 7, in with a 71-424. 71-424. That is no help for Scott. Going to stay 7th in STU. And here's your class leader, David Wampler from Manassas, Virginia, and now in this STI. He's STU number 22. He's in with a 6.6797. 6.6797. A little over a tenth of a second improvement. That's going to keep him in the lead in STU. He's got about a tenth and a half lead over Austin Yazel right now. Cale Bushmeyer into the finish. Cale, I'm assuming, I don't know what I'm assuming. This appears to be his 3rd run. So perhaps it's the rerun. 66.450 for Cale. 66.450. Next, Patrick Witt in this 99 M3. Patrick from Cincinnati in with a 71-637. 71-637. That's about a second and a half pickup for Patrick. Brian Robertson, that's STU number 79, and with a 68-011. 68-011 for Brian Robertson. Brian currently 5th in STU. Michael Smith, STU number 82, and now with a 67-975. 67-975, but a cone on this run. Michael sitting in 3rd in STU based on his first run time. That would have been no help even without the cone. Mr. Grady Wood walking up here. Hello, sir. Special delivery from Mr. Wood from Tennessee. Well, hopefully it's some, well, I can't even say the word moonshine out here because of our strict no alcohol policies. Matthew Howard in from Batavia, Ohio, and that Fiero in now with a 69-813. 69-813. No help there. Here is Eric Brown, SSM number 55, and with a 67-632. 67-632 for Eric Brown. So Chris Howell in now. That's SSM number 69. Driving this 97 Corvette and in with 70.662. 70.662. Here's Matt Glagola. He was your early leader. 63.697 this run. 63.697. No help there. Matthew in 3rd in SSM with at this point. Here is Robert Armstrong in this 91 Corvette. It's SSM number 91. Robert in with another DNF. Sadly, that's 2 DNFs in a row for Robert Armstrong. Robert, you may want to consult the sheets after they get pulled in from the sweep run here in a minute and see if you can find out maybe where you're going off course. Eric Anderson in next, but not right now. Or is it? Eric Anderson. That appears to be Tara Johns into the finish, even though it's showing as Eric Anderson. 67-126 for her. I'll just go with her because Eric can be kind of girly as well. 67-126 for what I believe to be Tara Johns. Here is Eric Anderson. Eric in the 64-440. 64-440. For Eric Anderson in the Miata. Here's PJ Corrales in now. PJ in with a 61-572. 61-572. Andrew Pallotta in now, F Street number 41, in with a 68, 681. 68, 681. No help there, but Andrew leading F Street. So he's got about a 1 second cushion over Chi Ho. Cindy Duncan from Louisville, Kentucky, and now with a 71, 714. 71, 714. Cindy going almost 2 seconds faster on the second run. Kind of bucking the trend of a slower second run by most everyone else. Cindy making it happen out here. She is currently 5th in F Street. Here's Dick Rasmussen, F Street number 50. He's in with a 71, 671. 71, 671 bumps Cindy back a spot. Dick moving into that 5th spot in F Street with that run. Oh, but a cone being called in on Dick, so that may put Cindy back into that 5th spot. 69, 631 the time in now for Alex Ardiet. F Street number 77 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He is in with a 71, 630, 69, 631, but a cone. 69, 631 plus 1 for Alex. Jason Hubenbecker now, S Street number 82, in with a 70.138. A 70.138. That puts Jason in 4th spot in F Street. $69,456 the time in for Doug Willie. $69,456. That moves Doug into 3rd. That's a trophy spot in F Street. After a little bit of a rodeo ride into the finish, Willie moves himself up into 3rd in F Street. Or Will. W-I-L-L-E. So I guess we could go either way with that. Caitlin Kennedy in now, driving that red Miata. She's sharing with Velma Breen. She's in with a 69.6, but a DNF on that run. 69.6 DNF on Caitlin. Here's Alejandro Aviles, STC number 50, into the finish now. He is your leader in STC. Slows down a little bit, but doesn't really need it anyway. He is 66.074 was his time. He is still leading. Still leading in STC. Dale Coonsey, your next car in. This 89 Civic SI. He's in with the 68.627. 68.627 for Dale Coonsey from Grand Island, New York. Oh, but 2 cones on that run, Dale. 2 cones. Not going to help you out. So going to stay, looks like, in 3rd in STC. Jeff Mabry, STC number 90, and now the 65.941. 65.941 moves him from last into 2nd trophy spot in STC with that run. Richard Grunwald in a moment ago. STC number 92 was in with a 67.891, but a cone. 67.891, but a cone. I have had a part delivered to me in the announce vehicle. It is about the diameter of a standard 16-ounce water bottle. It is about an inch high. It is a round disc. It is anodized red. It has a little stand at the top of it. It's marked CS. It Looks like a fantastic paperweight. It looked great on my desk if no one claims it. I don't know what it is, but if you're missing a red anodized something or another that says CS on the top, I guess if I flip it over, it doesn't say anything because that, yeah, never mind. Maybe it says C5. Yeah, I think that says C5. Maybe it's a Corvette piece. Oh, and I see Jeanette Jordan coming to a stop out there on course again. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on with her. I don't know if she found another down coming in the same spot or just needed a break, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. All right, Rachel Baker in now, SMF Ladies number 37. She's in with a 63.609. 63.609. So anyway, this red anodized piece does appear to say C5 on it. Maybe a Corvette jacking puck, perhaps. I don't know. But now I guess I can't ask you to describe it to claim it because I've given away all the secrets. So anyway, if it's yours, come get it. If not, I'm keeping it and seeing if it works on a C6. Because that's how I roll. Jeanette Jordan in with a 72.6, but again, she came to a stop out there. I don't know what exactly is the deal with Jeanette. Perhaps she has a rerun. She showed a DNF on that run, so perhaps not. Here's Crystal Janus in now with a 68.129, 68.129. No help there. Crystal still going to stay in third in SMF Ladies. And now Melissa Britton, H Street Ladies number 1. She's sponsored by Hoosier Performance Engineering. I suppose that's not the tire. That's, wow. Anyway, she was in a moment ago with a DNF. No, I'm sorry. She was in a moment ago with a, what was she in? With a 76.155 to cone, 76.155. +1. Now Carol Rodriguez, B Modified Ladies number 40, comes in with a DNF on that run. DNF for Carol. Next in will be Michael Bombard, STX number 119. I believe that's the same car Simmons was in. 66.071 for Michael. 66.071 looks to be clean. I'm not hearing anything on the radios. If that stays clean, that will move Michael into the 4th trophy spot. Move him up 6 places into 4th. STX. All right. Princess wiggling her butt out there on her way in. Randall Prince, STX number 144. And with a 68.472, a 68.472. If that was clean, that would be a big help for him. Moves him from 22nd up to 14th in STX. Here's Teddy Alexandrova. She is in now with a 68.494, a 68.494. Moves Teddy up from 22nd to 15th in STX. Well, that's the exact same thing I just said about Randall. She's got better legs, so I've compared them. I mean, Randall's leg, don't get me wrong, Randall's legs are pretty hot, but Teddy got him beat all day long. Strictly an observation. And now Terry Baker, STX number 171. Terry in with a 68.656. 68.656. That is an improvement for Terry. About a, wow, right at a full second improvement for Terry. Terry sitting 17th in STX. Sean Lambert in now from Fisherville, Kentucky in this 2007 RX-8 in with a 67.6, but a DNF for Sean. 67.6 DNF for Lambert. So no help there. Lambert was sitting 1 out of the trophies right now in 8th. Did not need that DNF. I know he'd like to move into the get some hardware category, but he is still 1 spot out. Tom DeYoung in now from St. Louis, Missouri in this 96 328 IS. He's in with a 66 779. Had a DNF on his first run, so that moves him up from the basement into 9th spot. Now Kenneth Sang in STX number 198. Kenneth in with a 65 802. 65 802, almost a full half a almost a half a second. Now, there's not really such thing as a full half, is there? Anyway, it was an improvement. It put him into 3rd in class. Here's Martin Kriz, STU number 122. Martin, wow, Martin coming in on that run, moving ahead of David Wampler, his co-driver, into the lead. 65 725 for him. 65 725 takes the lead in STU. Speaking of taking the lead, Brian Johns just got something together with that run. Jumps into 1st spot in SSM with that run. 59 949 the time. 59 949 moves him straight up into 1st spot into SSM. Here is Randall Wilcox, SSM number 196. 61 782 for Randall. 61 782. So I don't know if that's a raw advantage, but he got rid of 2 cones, so definitely a step up for Randall. Puts him in the 4th and final trophy spot in SSM. Chi-Ho in now F Street number 182, and with a 68 999. 68.999 in that M3. Sponsored by Dynasty Automotive. Chi is sitting 2nd in F Street. Here comes Jackie Muchler. Jackie from Houston, Texas, in with a 70.674. 70.674, couple tenths pickup there. Jackie 5th in F Street. 2 out of the trophies at the moment. Now, once again, I do my best to pronounce these names properly, but if I butcher your name, you want to come and give me a piece of your mind and a correct pronunciation, I will do my best to mispronounce it correctly in the future. Step on up. Velma Barina now with a 68 613. 68 613, almost 2 full second improvement out there. So, obviously, conditions drying up a little bit. We had some sprinkles, moderately heavy sprinkles earlier, but seems to have stopped and dried up out there. Todd Coonsey in now from Columbus, Ohio. Todd him with a 67 393. 67 393. That's a good improvement for him. About 1.9 pickup. Going to move him up to 4th in STC. So Sweep is out, running those high beams so he can see better as he works in towards the finish. And we're back to action. We're on the 3rd runs here. 3rd runs here at the SCCA Solo National Championship Tour here in Wilmington, Ohio. If you get a chance, check out the Ustream feed. We've got the carts cam on some of these cars, getting you some in-car video. We've also got a camera out here giving you some pretty pictures of the outside. Check it out. And Heat 6 workers, it's time for you to come start checking in. Heat 6 workers, look for the man with the clipboard. He's over here, not far behind the announce vehicle. I imagine he'll be over near the Lincoln Drivers Center. And he's ready to sign you in. So step on up. Step on up. Put your name in the hat. You could win a free corner position out there. You might get to hold a red flag or a radio or something cool like that. So come on up, sign in. We've got Sherry McCoy in now, Cincinnati, Ohio. She is in with a 70.422. 70.422, that's a half-second improvement, and a spot movement for her moves her into 21st in STX. Mark Stevens, STX number 18, in now with the 68 650. 68 650 for Mark Stevens from Bellevue, Ohio. But a DNF called on Mark with that run. DNF, so no help there. He's going to stay 12th in STX. Here is Eric Simmons, STX number 19. Eric in with a 64.833. 64.833. Eric leading the class based on the strength of his first run. He hit a cone on this run also. So Simmons dirty on his second and third runs, leaving that door wide open. He does have a 1.4 second lead over the second place guy, but that definitely left the door open for somebody to put something together. Cale Bushmeyer from Westerville, Ohio in now. Cale in with a 65.909. A 65.909. That moves Cale from 7th up into the 4th trophy spot. Perry Olwood, STX number 24 in from Candler, North Carolina. He moves, man. People making some big moves here. 7th all the way into 2nd in STX. 65.409 for him. 65.409. Simmons, you may not want to rest easy yet. You may want to work on chewing those fingernails down to your nubs. Some of these guys are making some moves here. Nick Kelly, STX number 30, and now 67.151 for Nick. 67.151. Nick staying 10th in STX. SCCA Colburn will be the next car in. Driving a 2013 BRZ sideways. Yeah, that's what we do in Corvettes, so I guess you could do that in a BRZ as well if you'd like. SCCA is in with a 70.630, a 70.630, 22nd in STX. Doug Glanz doing it Randall Prince style through the finish. Doug in with a 68.036 on that 68.036 plus a cone, a big ugly spin, and possibly a DNF. Doug, you may not want to tell your mama about that run at the Thanksgiving table later on this year. You might want to keep that one to yourself. Christo Cook in now, STX number 53. Christo in, wow, talk about big moves. Christo with a 66.204. That moves him from 20th all the way into 8th in STX. 66.204. Christo Cook, you are, unfortunately, one spot out of the trophies with that, but still, that's a 20th to 8th is a nice move. I applaud you, sir. Bill Cook in now. It's STX number 68, and with a 66.202 for Bill. 66.202. Bill Cook, sponsored by Cardboy, Nameless Performance, FT86 Speed Factory, and something I ran out of screen room to read, but it starts with the word guard. He was in the 66.202. Bill move. Okay, here's another example. Big moves. Bill just moved from 25th all the way into 8th with that run, bumping Christo a spot back. Bill, you're one out of the trophy, sir, going into tomorrow, so you may want to wind that little mouse toy up a little tighter overnight. Caleb Zitter in now from Lexington, Kentucky. Caleb in with a 72.618. 72.618 for Caleb. Curtis Staples in my favorite little E30 M3 into the finish now. 69.969 for Curtis. 69.969. That's a 1.2 second improvement there. But only moves him 2 spots, believe it or not, after all these other big jumps. Yeah, looks exactly the same. Carl Rickert just reminded me, it's kind of funny, Curtis's time would work exactly the same upside down. Unfortunately, as I can attest, E30s do not work just the same if you turn them upside down. So don't try that. Jeffrey Rooney, STX number 76 a moment ago, the 68.052. 68.052 for Rooney. Rooney sitting 15th in STX. Here's Raymond Zuzza. Let's see if he cleaned up this time. Raymond running some great times, but dirty earlier. He's in with a 66.650. 66.650. Slowed down a little bit, but cleaned it up. So Raymond going to sit 11th in STX. Here is your former second place guy in STX moving back into that spot with this run. A 65.246 for Eric Kudel. 65.246 moves Eric back into that second spot. Only about 9/10 behind Simmons. Only about 9/10. No, it's kind of it's a moderately good-sized margin, but not insurmountable. So Eric brings his A game tomorrow, and Simmons gets a little sloppy. You never know what'll happen. Simmons did cone his last 2 runs. Meanwhile, Kyle Mertens in a moment ago with a 67-7-62. 67-7-62, but a cone. Not going to help Kyle any with that run. 64-7-15, meanwhile, the time in for Alan Chen. 64-7-15. He jumps into second spot. He's only 4/10 off of Eric Simmons' tail with that run. So these guys closing in on Simmons. Simmons not been able to capitalize his second and third runs. These guys trying to take advantage of it as Chen moves right up on his tail with that third run of his. Bruno Tabachian, meanwhile, from North Lewisburg, Ohio, in this 04 WRX, he was in with a 67-750. 67-750. Not going to help him any, I don't think. Looks like he's going to stay 15th in STX. Now we're looking at STU. Austin Yazel, STU number 4 in now from Greensburg, Indiana. He was in third spot. This moves him up a spot. 66-745 the time. 66-745 moves him into second place in STU. About a second out of the lead. Martin Kriz holding on to that. But he split Kriz. He split Kriz and Wampler nicely with that run. Meanwhile, Mike DeZingle from Waynesville, Ohio, in with a 68.504, 68.504. That 7/10 improvement, but no move for him. He stays 6th in STU. I cannot say his last name without thinking of Big Bang Theory. I don't know. DeZingle. You see where I'm? Maybe no. It's okay. I know. I seek therapy. I understand. Scott Johns, STU number 7, in with that M3 now with a 69.101. 69.101, about a half-second improvement for him, staying, though, in 7th in STU. Here's Wampler. Wampler not liking being split by Yazel a minute ago. Wampler moves back into second spot right behind his co-driver. 65.856 for him. 65.856, about a little over a 10th behind Kriz. Kriz leading STU. Wampler currently second trophy spot. Here is, I hear some tires sliding as Patrick Witt comes into the finish. STU number 23, and that 99 M3. He's in with the 69.031. 69.031. That moves him up a spot into 7th in STU. Brian Robertson really working that red Evo as he comes through the finish. 66.949 for him. 66.949. It's going to move him up a spot into 4th in STU. Robertson, you are 1 out of the trophies right now. About 2/10, a little over 2/10 out. Moving into that 3rd trophy spot. Michael Smith, STU number 82, and now with a 66.264. 66.264. No help there for Michael. Going to stay 5th. Next in will be Matt Howard in this Pontiac Fiero. You don't see a whole lot of SSM 1988 Pontiac Fieros. I wonder what's under the hood of that thing. I just thought it was an old tired Fiero, but there's some interesting motor swaps for those cars. So you never know. Howard in with a 68.613. 68.613, but a DNF called on that run, so no help there for Matt. That would have been a full second improvement for him. Actually, about a 1.2 improvement for Howard if that wasn't a DNF. Here's SSM 55 Eric Brown, and into the finish, Eric, and with a 66.630, 66.630, but 2 cones. So no help there for Eric. 2 cones on that run. Chris Howell, SSM 69, coming in. Another Corvette running this class. From Brookville, Ohio. He's in with a 66.269. 66.269, no help there. Here comes Matt Glagola. Matt currently 3rd in SSM. Let's see if he can move up. And he's in with a 60.318. 60.318, a 1 second, little over a second improvement for Matt. Not enough to move him out of 3rd, but he is going to stay He's going to move a lot closer to PJ with that run. Just about a 10th behind PJ Corrales going into day 2. Armstrong. Is that Armstrong that just finished 57 but a DNF? Is that right? Believe that was a DNF we just saw out of Robert Armstrong. If so, that makes 3 DNFs in a row, unfortunately, for him. So, hate to see that happen to anybody. Armstrong DNFing all 3 of his runs. Out on course now, we've got Eric Anderson, SSM number 96. Eric currently sitting 7th in SSM. His co-driver holding on to the last trophy spot, Randall Wilcox. Eric looking to move up. He knows that car's got some speed if he can figure out where he put it. It might be in the glove box. I don't know. Sponsored by Greyhound Pets of America and Top End Fabrication and DIY Auto Tune. Wow, really sliding that thing around through the finish. That big wing keeping him in line, though, I guess. Oh, he got a cone right before the finish. 62.506 for him. 62.506. That is almost a 5 full second improvement for him. Unfortunately, that cone's going to take 2 of those away, but still, you can't sneeze at a 3-second improvement even. All right, Corrales in now. Comes in with about a 2.5 improvement on that run. 59.978 for PJ. 59.978. So PJ moving up with 29 thousandths behind Brian Johns right now. So going to be a nail biter going into tomorrow. Brian Johns probably not going to sleep very well knowing PJ is that close to his tail. Meanwhile, Pilata in now. S Street number 41. Pilata, your class leader. Improves by another 4/10. He's in with a 67.128. A 67.128. Extending his lead. He's got about a 1.5 second lead over the class in F Street. Meanwhile, Julian Garfield, we need you to report to Carl Rickert. Julian Garfield, Carl Rickert needs you. Please check in with Carl. Cindy Duncan in now on her 3rd run, 70.324 for her, 70.324. That moves her back into the 5th spot. And once again, we need 6 heat workers. If you're a 6 heat worker, we need you checking in. We're getting very near the end of heat 5, and we're trying to do worker change on the fly. So get on up and report in, please. Heat 6 workers. If you're a heat 6 driver, of course, you need to get that car into grid. Come on up. Meanwhile, Dick Rasmussen into the finish. Dick, sponsored by 50 years of employment, recently retired. 71.691 the time for him. 71.691. But a cone on that run, so no help there for Dick. Alex Ardiet in now, F Street number 77. Alex in with a 69.728. A 69.728. That moves him from 8th all the way into 4th. In F Street, just outside of the trophies. Big move, though, for him. Hoopenbecker now, another M3 into the finish. Hoopenbecker in with a 67.747. 67.747 for Jason. With a 68.192. A 70.737. She had cones on her first run and a DNF on her second, so that's going to be a major improvement for her. 66.900 the time in for Alejandro Aviles. 66.900. Alejandro leading STC by a slim margin, about a 1/10.5 over Jeff Mabry. Jeff yet to finish. So Mabry may be able to move up a spot into the lead if he plays his cards just right. Let's see what happens. Bill Coonsey in now. Coonsey in with a 66, 413, 66, 413. 3/10 improvement stays, though, in fifth in STC. Mabry coming in now. Mabry, let's see if he can find about a 1/10.5 to take the lead. Can he do it? He does. He finds almost exactly what he needs. Mabry moving into the lead in STC, 65-784. 65-784 on that run. Mabry now has a .012 lead over Alejandro Aviles. Talk about slim margins. That's about as slim as they get. Mabry turning it on to find that first place position on that run. Here is Tara Johns, and now I'm checking for that pink helmet. I think Brian Johns puts that pink helmet on sometimes just to mess with me, or maybe just for a fun Saturday night. So, trying to keep up with this moving screen. I'm not sure what that did for Tara. She's currently fifth in SSM, one spot out of the trophies. Back to STC. What did we have just a moment ago? Rich Grunwald in with a 67-716 for Rich. 67-716. It slows down a little bit, so Rich staying third in STC. I'm in here utterly destroying Carl Rickart's cart's production setup here in the announce vehicle. I just elbowed the computer straight into the floor. So if you're trying to keep up at home, my apologies. That was all Carl Rickart's fault because he put it right within elbow reach. It's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Rachel Baker on course now. That's SMF Ladies, number 37. And that 91 CRX. Jeanette Jordan on course behind her. I have not seen Jeanette stop in the middle of the course on this run, so that's a good thing. Two different times I've seen her come to a stop out in the middle, so not happening this run so far. Rachel Baker in now. Rachel in with a 62.076. 62.076. That's a 1.5 second improvement for Rachel, extending her lead over Jeanette. She's got a 2.3 second lead over Jeanette Jordan right now. Jeanette, next car to finish. Let's see what she can get back out of that. Jeanette always quick in this little Civic. Not too used to sitting in second spot. Jeanette in with a 63.358. 63.358. It's a little over a second improvement for her. Not enough to move her into the lead. So Jeanette will go into day two, about a second off of Rachel Baker. Crystal Janos will be your next car in this 88 Civic. Crystal in with a 65.961, 65.961. That is a good improvement for Crystal, but not enough to move her up. She's going to stay third in SMF Ladies. Next, we got Melissa Britton on course now, this 06 Corolla. Melissa Britton got a cone on this run, unfortunately. Melissa, though, having some DNF issues earlier, I think. No, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of someone else. Never mind. Melissa did not have DNF issues earlier. She did have a cone issue on her second run. Hits a cone on her third run also. 75.316 the time. 75.316, but a cone that would have been her best run. But unfortunately, she's going to stand on her first run. She is leading in H Street Ladies, though, so that's all right. That's not a bad deal there. Next in will be Carol Rodriguez in the 76 Legrand Mark 18. Carol leading in B-Mod Ladies. This car looks like an absolute blast. I can only imagine. Rodriguez working her way in. 78-781 for her. 78-781. Boyd Willis, we're looking for you to check in for your work assignment. Boyd Willis. Lloyd Willis. Lloyd. Oh, yeah. Boyd Willis. If you know a Lloyd Willis, find him and tell him to come check in for his work assignment. Michael Bombard in now. STX number 119 in with a 65-305. 65-305 for Michael. That moves Michael from 7th into 4th in STX. See what happens. His co-driver Simmons still sitting in the lead in that car, but only about 4/10 cushion. A few people left to run. Here's Princess in now. Dirty. 66-688 for Randall. 66-688, but 2 comes. So no help there. Princess going to stay 19th in STX. Here comes Tede Alexandrova, all the way from South Florida, driving this Bill Cook JSC. No, I'm sorry, Bill Cook. I was going to call off her sponsors, and I lost my place on the screen. Cartboard and Endless Performance, FT86 Speed Factory. Those are her sponsors. Bill Cook is her car owner, and she's in with a 67-516. A 67-516. So that is about a 9/10 pickup for Teddy. Good for her. Teddy sitting 15th in STX. Now we have Terry Baker, STX 171 in. He's in with a 68-258. 68-258, about a 4/10 pickup there. Moves him up a couple spots. Baker 19th in STX. Sean Lambert in STX 176 had some trouble on his second run with the DNF. This run looks to be clean and good. 65-256 for this run. 65-256. That's a 1.2 second improvement. Moves Sean from 10th all the way into the 4th trophy spot. Tom DeYoung, STX 195 in 65-898. His time 65-898. But a cone on that run. Dang, that would have put DeYoung all the way up into, I don't know, 4th, something like that. But that cone bumps him right back down. Going to be 12th in STX for DeYoung. Kenneth Sang in now in this 05 RX-8 to be her next car through the finish. Good looking graphics on this car. It really stands out. I was admiring it at the Peru Match Tour. Watching it make some loud noises. Lots of tire smoke out there. 65-056. That was at Peru, not here. 65-056 for Kenneth. 65-056 his time. That moves Kenneth all the way from 7th into 3rd. Gets him a big fat trophy. Well, not today. I mean, he's got to do it tomorrow again. But puts him in a good spot anyway. Martin Kriz, meanwhile, into the finish. Martin staying in the lead with this run, 64-382. 64-382, that's a 1.3 second improvement for Martin to extend his lead in STU. Brian Johns in now. Brian with a 59-653. 59-653, that's a 3/10 improvement. So that moves Brian into the lead. And SSM, here is Randall Wilcox, SSM 196, and with a 60.134. 60.134. That does it move? I don't know. My screen's telling me some odd messages, but let's just say that's Randall Wilcox staying in 3rd place with that run. That does look like that may have moved him up a spot. So Randall Wilcox, we're going to say you moved into 3rd. Either way, you're in 3rd. Shiho in now, F Street number 182 with a 67-857. 67-857, that moves him up into 3rd and final trophy spot in F Street for today. Obviously, I think everyone knows this is a 2-day event, so when I say trophy spot, I mean for today you have to repeat your performance tomorrow to get the hardware. Just similar to, yes, similar to lots of events. 68-541, the time in for Jackie Muschler. I am almost certain I am butchering that last name, but I don't have a better answer. So Jackie Muschler, you're in. You were in with that time I called a moment ago, which went away from my screen. Velma Breen in now, the 68-313. 68-313 for Velma. C Street Prepared Ladies, number 187. That gives her about 3/10 more of a lead in CSP Ladies. Here now into the finish, Todd Coonsey, STC number 187. Todd in with the 66-097. 66-097. That is a 1.2 second improvement. Todd going to in today in fourth in STC. So that we've got workers changing spots. It looks like we're headed into Heat 6. I see Sweep coming in, so I'm going to say that was the end of Heat 5.